What's going on, Jerome's beautiful Friday? Birds are indeed chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. So usually during the season, when we have games on Sundays, we'll do the preview for the game on Sunday on Fridays, but we're actually going to hold off till Saturday until we have the injury designations from practice on Friday, because Darrisaw, I feel like Darrisaw certainly changes the complexion of what this game is going to be, right? And Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who is not Carl Gerschmidt, who's not. Christian Darrisaw knee is not practicing today on Thursday. Don't worry. As part of a weekly routine, he is likely to follow the season. He's expected back tomorrow, Friday, today, as a full participant. So no Ryan Kelly or Justin School either. Both are in concussion protocol. So Darrisaw practiced in full on Wednesday, no practice on Thursday by design, and then full participation on Friday by design. TBD, if he plays on Sunday, I'm sure that he'll come in with a questionable label, but Darrisaw really does change what the Vikings do up front. And, you know, the first couple of games, J.J. McCarthy just got shelled. And was it partly on him? Sure. But when you have edge rushers just screaming through unblocked, you have zero chance. I don't care who you are. You could be prime Tom Brady. You could be Joe Montana. You could be whoever. I mean, you're not going to get anything done. Right, so it's certainly not on him. And with Darrisaw, Pelissero, Vikes fan page, unless Vikings tackle Christian Darrisaw has a setback, Tom Pelissero says it's trending towards Darrisaw playing on Sunday. He mentioned via K-Fan. Pelissero also said that Darrisaw could have played week 1, given the circumstances of the game. I feel like these leaks are sort of throwing Darrisaw under the bus. Right? I feel like all right, so the rest of it. Darrisaw could have played week 1. Don't get it twisted. There were no setbacks, but if they said, hey, this is a playoff game or a must-win game, Darrisaw could have been out there. So, obviously, this is not coming from Darrisaw. I feel like, this is really sad to say, but I feel like this is the coaching staff sort of covering their own ass, where I feel like they've been very smart with Darrisaw, getting him to 100% before he returns. And the fact that Justin School was so terrible and the rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy got beat to hell, I feel like this is a throw Darrisaw under the bus campaign, like a concerted effort. And Pelissero is a very convenient voice box here, because obviously he's connected inside the building, and it wouldn't take much to just suddenly leak to Pelissero's like, hey, Darrisaw could have played. I mean, we wanted him to play, but it's not our fault that J.J. McCarthy got beat to hell. It's really gross, honestly. All right. And do you care about players' health or don't you? Right? And Darrisaw, yeah, it would have been nice if he was back week 1. Was he 100%? 100%. Don't know. But something stinks with this, because when something leaks like this, obviously NFL insiders are good at their jobs, but all this information comes from somewhere, and there's always an agenda attached to it. Like, do you think this came from Darrisaw or his agent? No. Do you think this came from the Vikings? Sure. Because you always have to ask, go Cicero style, cui bono, like who benefits? To whom's benefit? Who would have benefit if it got out there that, Darrisaw could have played week 1, really? I wonder. Something I also wonder is how amazing the Jeromes are. Absolutely amazing. You guys have been crushing it so far. Margaret Rocco School doing their annual walkathon all through October 15th. All Venmos, Cash Apps will be donated to the school fundraiser. Margaret crushed it 2 out of the last 3 years. Let's get Rocco on the board. Rocco Taco. This is his birthday this week. It's good to go. All right. So, again, thank you so much. You Jeromes have been more than generous this year and throughout the years. You're the absolute best. And just love this community, man. All right. Also, something I love, that Harrison Smith could return. Be good. Vikes fan page again. Pelissero also adds that this is potentially the week for Harrison Smith to be back. If Smith does return Sunday, I expect a lighter snap count to ease him back to action. Smith, like Darrisaw, probably could have pushed out there if they really need him last 2 weeks. I feel like this has also covered their ass. So your defense gets shredded by Bajon, and you give 200+ yards rushing, and you have this safety who's very good down the box against the run, very good. seeing things, making side adjustments, making calls out there. Then all of a sudden he hasn't been out there. It's like, oh, yeah, well, you could have played. Again, to whom's benefit? I wonder. Yeah. And also, so there's something called a emotional free roll. And you'll see this sometimes too. So Vikings fans or sports fans in general, where they're always negative. They're always negative, always down in the dumps. Oh, Eeyore, always just trying to rip everything about their team down. And it's an emotional free roll because if the team is bad, all of a sudden, see, I told you I was right. And then they have all of that clout. Just like, I called it. Cool. And if their team is good, well, my team is good. This is great. So it's an emotional free roll. They literally have nothing to lose, and every situation comes out correct. I can see why people are negative now. I kind of want to do that. But these negative Nancy's saying that, oh, J.J. McCarthy's a bust. Sacked 9 times, 40% pressure rate. By the way, this is between O'Neal and Fries. This is $170.5 million of offensive linemen watching their young quarterback, second career start, get beat to hell by 3 defensive players, 2 of whom came unblocked. Just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. All right. Because, Darrisaw returning is going to be huge, but Fries, O'Neal, Juergens, Jackson, everybody's got to get their head out of the ass. Bring your ass away from your head. Right. Barnwell, not going to have much success on offense when both edges are running unblocked at the quarterback, which this had to be just a massive miscommunication, right? Edge comes unblocked. It looked like Fries was supposed to kick out. I don't know. Just a really bad look. And this comes down to coaching and communication. And yes, Ryan Kelly being out sucks, but it is what it is, right? And this could be miscommunications, bad line calls. Don't know. Just, yeah. Also, oh, hey, look. Week 2 pass protection rankings from the 33rd team listed by average ranks in pressure rate, sack rate, and time to throw. Vikings going down in an early round. 32. Dead last. Again, $170.5 million, the right side of the offensive line. Get your ish together, right? Because at a certain point, you'll never walk alone and always got your back and try hard, boys, do all that stuff. Do it, right? Literally no excuse for Brian O'Neal, no excuse for Will Fries to be like this. It's just not good, man. Yeah. Also, Ryan Kelly, still DNP and concussion protocol, likely going to miss this Sunday. It's been pretty much standard with the concussion protocol with the Vikings, as well as Ryan Kelly's had multiple concussions throughout his career, so it's something worth monitoring. And Michael Juergens should and could be under center. Now, Juergens would be his first career start, and got a lot of faith in the pride of Wake Forest, and also Ryan Kelly was a short-term solution anyway, so Juergens basically getting an audition for the job, for the future. And, gave up 1 pressure, 0 sacks in filling in for Ryan Kelly against the Falcons, as well as, was perfectly fine in the run blocking game. But calling out protections, it's going to be key. And Carson Wentz is going to have to be all up in there as well. But also, when J.J. McCarthy gets back, maybe Kelly will be back, don't know. But also, if Darrisaw somehow doesn't go, Walter Rouse is going to be in a left tackle. So Rouse, Jackson, Juergens. It's not a lot of NFL starting experience. Actually, it'd be 0 starts, and they're both second year or under. So I don't know. Again, whatever happens, hey, if you're on the field, get your ish together, because this inexcusable, embarrassing, right? This could cost your offensive line coach's job, Chris Cooper. There's a reason why they hired an assistant with so much experience, in Keith Cadda. But yeah, and of course Carson Wentz, childhood dream, childhood team, getting a chance to start. Poor circumstances, but like we've ranted about this week, all this talk all offseason that J.J. McCarthy driving this Ferrari, This team has all this talent, especially in the trenches. Offensive line hasn't gotten its stuff together. Jordan Mason's going to be a hammer. Jefferson is still him. Addison is back soon. Hawkinson has something to prove. Defensively, they've been fine, except for stopping the run, which we'll get to. But nothing really changes. And most of the injuries are short or medium term. So, again, this team can get hot at the right time, middle of the season, end of the season, into the playoffs, right? And Carson Wentz, this is his last best chance, so he's just going to fire the effing pigskin. He's just going to go out there and sling it, man. It's going to be great. Yeah. But what happens? So, next couple of games. These next three decide how the Viking season is going to go. If they start at 1-4, I don't know. If they start at 4-1, maybe even 3-2, you're in business. You're good to go, right? But what happens if Carson Wentz is the man? Pat McAfee. Carson Wentz grew up as a Vikings fan. Now he's got a chance to be their quarterback. If he plays really well, then they won't have to rush J.J. McCarthy back, which is fine. Which is honestly fine because, again, J.J. McCarthy, outside the brilliance of the fourth quarter against the Bears, he basically went out there and got whacked by a 2x4 17,000 times, right? And, McCarthy's a tough kid. And he's got the confidence of the coaching staff and whatnot. And once that ankle is good to go, I'd say get him back out there. But, if Wentz is ripping the cover off the ball, because it's a bit of a conundrum, because you could have short-term success because, this team is still jacked and stacked. And if Carson Wentz just shows up, does his job, and we're good to go, the Vikings, short-term this season, could win a lot of games. But conversely, you put in J.J. McCarthy because he needs that experience. He's 22 years old, 2-year starter at Michigan. He needs reps. He needs to be in the game. He needs experience, right? And it could be a spot, too, where Carson Wentz is rolling and you put McCarthy back in and maybe McCarthy struggles, just like a first-year starting quarterback would do, except you're investing in the medium and long-term future of the franchise. But also, how do you balance that with, say, Carson Wentz is doing really good and Carson Wentz maybe puts the Vikings into contention for a Super Bowl. Who knows? Again, this would be the dumbest thing ever where Carson Wentz wins a Super Bowl. Where we said this last year, if and when the Vikings win a Super Bowl, it's going to be just a random-ass season. Like Carson Wentz pulls a Nick Foles reverse Uno card and just wins it. I don't know. Yeah. Also, yes, this week is Bengals week. So you have Jamar Chase, you have Justin Jefferson, former teammates at LSU. And with Jefferson, it's always been like, Jamar's my guy. We're still competitive, but he's my guy at the end of the day, blah, blah, blah. Jamar Chase is oddly obsessed with Jefferson. You guys notice that? It's a weird one-way obsession, right? Because, you talk about stats, you got to do better than Jefferson. Talked about contract, he's got to get $1 more than Jefferson. It's just odd, man. Yeah. But Joel Danneman, Fox 19, I'm guessing that's in Cincy. Question, are you allowed to gritty in Justin Jefferson's house? Jamar Chase, if he doesn't want me to, I'm going to do it. Ha, 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 ha. Purposely, yeah, I want to piss him off. Okay. Cool. And people forget, back at LSU, it was La Gritty who started the dance. So it was actually Jefferson and Chase doing it down there. But, of course, Jefferson made it famous. A worldwide phenomenon. So at Rocco Soccer League, every time a kid does something good, they're busting out the gritty. Good pass, gritty. Goal, obviously gritty. Mom made good orange slices for the team snack, gritty. It's good. And lastly, this one cannot go unpunished, right? Because the Packers have been running their mouth, but this one is just too far. Ari Mariev. Packers left tackle Rasheed Walker. I think we can go undefeated pound for pound. I look at these teams, and I don't really see who's better than us, honestly. So this is something most professional athletes think, sure. But they don't say because they're not dumb enough to say it. This is bulletin board material. You think that the Browns are looking at this? You think that, hey, Rasheed Walker, I think we can go undefeated pound for pound. We're better than everyone else. Yeah, you're going to say that to Myles Garrett when he's lined up across from you on Sunday? That was going to be? Also, it's always a scrub. It's never the stars of the team. It's just like, we're going undefeated. Blah, blah, blah. It's always like for the Vikings, it'd be like Brashad Breeland running his mouth. You know what I mean? Brashad Johnson Breeland. Or, right now it'd be like, hey, Dwight Newton McLaughlin, we're going undefeated the rest of the way. It's ridiculous. It's okay. Follow that down. Freezing cold takes, old takes exposed. It'll be good. It'll be good times, man. But, woosah. I can already predict what the discourse is going to be after Sunday's game. Extend Carson Wentz, because there's a non-zero chance Darrisaw gets back, Jordan Mason hammers him, and I hate to say it, but Aaron Jones going on short-term IR, it may be for the best for the Vikings offense, because Jordan Mason deserves to be running back one, and Aaron Jones adds a ton in the pass game, don't get me wrong, but the fact that Aaron Jones was still getting like RB1 carries, nah. But Jordan Mason runs wild. Darrisaw's back, protects Wentz's ass. He drops a couple of bombs down the field. All of a sudden, it's like, Ginger Jesus. Come on. Come on, man. Just football is very stupid. Football is high variance. Football, it is what it is. But, hey, as long as my purple team's taking the field, they're going to win. And we're going to whip somebody's ass. That's right, man. Battle of the backups. Let's go, Carson. Anyways, that's it. Friday, Vikings news dump. You guys are the absolute best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.